Welcome to Real English Podcast. I'm Brendy.
And I'm Annie.
Please take a moment right now to like, subscribe, and share with your friends for the Real English Podcast. It might feel fast, but that's just how Americans talk. You'll hear it again later, so no pressure.
So, I am doing great today, but before we get into anything else, I really have to ask, what is that incredibly fancy-looking coffee you brought into the studio?
Oh, this. Yeah, well, I have to admit, I had a terribly stressful morning today.
Oh, no, really? What happened?
I just woke up late,
Uh-huh.
and the traffic was an absolute nightmare. I felt so rushed and, really anxious.
I hate mornings like that.
Right. But on my way here, I decided to just pull over and stop at this quiet little cafe.
Okay, that sounds nice.
Yeah, I bought this cup of coffee, but it cost me $7.
Wait, $7? That is a huge amount of money for just one cup of coffee.
I know. I mean, I usually never spend that much. I'm usually a make-it-at-home kind of guy.
Yeah, me too, honestly.
But stepping into that cafe, it was just so peaceful.
Oh, I bet.
The smell of the roasted beans was wonderful, and there was this soft music playing. When I took my first sip, I felt completely relaxed.
That sounds like a perfect moment.
It really was. I just felt happy. It was like all of the heavy stress from my terrible morning just melted away. Honestly, that $7 coffee completely changed my mood.
I totally get that feeling. And honestly, that is the perfect story to kick off what we're doing a deep dive into today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because today we're looking at the psychology of why we spend money. We're exploring something called the Feelconomy.
Right, the Feelconomy. We're talking about emotional spending, right?
Exactly. Why we buy things specifically to change how we feel inside and, how to figure out if a purchase is actually worth it.
This is such a practical topic. I mean, understanding this is going to help you, our listener, make much smarter money choices every single day.
Absolutely. It helps you understand your own internal feelings better.
And because we're learning together, you'll pick up some highly useful English vocabulary for expressing your emotions naturally.
Exactly. So whether you're drinking tea at home or enjoying your own expensive coffee, let's unpack this.
Start with that word itself. Feelconomy. It's a blend of two words, right? Feel and economy.
That's right. The Feelconomy means that when we spend money, we aren't just trying to get a physical object. We are trying to buy a feeling.
Oh, like buying an emotion.
Yes.
Mm.
When you buy a heavy, soft sweater, you aren't just buying clothing. You're buying the feeling of comfort.
That makes a lot of sense.
Right. When you book a vacation, you're buying the feeling of peace. And when you bought that coffee this morning, you are really buying a moment of joy.
That makes perfect sense when you put it like that.
Yeah.
But what is actually happening in our bodies? I mean, why does handing over my credit card make me feel better?
Well, it comes down to basic human biology. When we go shopping, our brain reacts by releasing a chemical called dopamine.
Dopamine. Let's say that word slowly. Dopamine.
Yes, dopamine. Think of dopamine like a quick sugar rush for your brain. You eat a piece of candy and you feel amazing and energetic right away.
Oh, I definitely know that feeling.
Right. It's a short burst of pleasure. It makes you feel incredibly good, but only for a little while.
Okay, so when people are feeling sad or maybe just bored at home on a Sunday, they go shopping to get that dopamine sugar rush.
Exactly. It temporarily lifts their sadness.
And by temporarily, we mean it only lasts for a very short time before the feeling fades away.
Right. People often call this retail therapy. Retail meaning shopping, and therapy meaning healing.
But wait, I totally get the retail therapy feeling, but it feels like a trap.
How so?
Well, if I'm always chasing that quick dopamine hit, I'm just going to completely drain my bank account.
Right.
Is there a way to buy things that make me happy without it being a bad purchase?
That is the million-dollar question. To avoid that trap, we have to understand the difference between two totally different types of purchases.
Okay, what's the first type?
First, there's the must-have item. This is usually tied to what we call extrinsic goals.
Extrinsic. That means the pressure comes from the outside world, right?
Exactly. For example, buying an expensive designer badge just to impress other people. You buy it because society or social media says you must have it to look wealthy or successful.
So the goal is outside of yourself. You aren't buying it for you, you're buying it for what other people will think of you.
Precisely. But on the other side, there is the joy-giving item. This is tied to intrinsic goals.
Intrinsic, meaning it comes from the inside.
Yes, it's deeply personal. A joy-giving item is something that brings you personal growth or a sense of deep peace.
Like what?
Well, for example, buying a beautiful, high-quality notebook because you love to sit quietly and write poetry. You aren't trying to impress anyone with the notebook. It just brings you genuine joy.
That's a huge distinction. Buying to impress others versus buying to bring yourself true inner peace.
It really is. And this is a perfect time to look at some English vocabulary words to describe these exact feelings. Let's speak very slowly and clearly so our listener can practice.
Good idea. Let's learn two very helpful emotion words today. The first word is happy. Happy.
Happy simply means feeling joy. It's a warm, light feeling in your heart. You naturally smile when you are happy.
And our second word is excited. Excited.
Excited means feeling thrilled. It's a high-energy feeling. Your heart might beat a little faster when you are excited.
Right, you're looking forward to something wonderful happening.
Let's practice a phrase together using these concepts. This is an interactive moment. I want you to listen to me and then say the words out loud wherever you are. Repeat after me.
Ready? Let's do it.
It sparks joy.
Let's do that one more time very slowly. Repeat after me. It sparks joy.
Wonderful. It sparks joy means that when you look at an item or hold an item, it instantly gives you a happy, positive feeling. It creates a little spark of light inside you.
So if every single human has this same dopamine reaction in their brain, does that mean everyone spends their money the exact same way?
Not at all, but there is a very common myth about this.
A myth. A myth is a story that society believes, but it isn't actually true.
Exactly. The myth says that women are emotional spenders and men are logical savers. Society tells us that women shop because of their feelings, and men only buy what they need based on pure logic.
Let me guess.
Okay.
That's completely false.
It is entirely false. The truth is that your gender does not dictate your spending at all. Men and women are both emotional spenders.
Really?
Yes. They just buy different things to get that dopamine hit. Men tend to buy big-ticket items.
Big ticket means very expensive things like large electronics, cars, or high-end tools.
Right. And women tend to buy household goods, clothing, or wellness items. But the emotional need driving the purchase is exactly the same for both.
That is so interesting. If gender doesn't decide our money habits, where do they actually come from? I'm guessing we learned it from our parents.
You're spot on. A person's money mindset is mostly inherited from their parents.
Inherited means you receive it from the people who raised you. You watch how they handle money, and you absorb those lessons.
Yeah. Exactly. For example, if you grew up watching your dad carefully save every extra dollar in a jar, you probably grew up thinking that saving money equals safety.
Oh, that makes sense.
But if you grew up watching him spontaneously buy huge gifts to celebrate good news, you probably learned that spending money equals love. And interestingly, children are especially influenced by the money habits of their fathers.
Wow, we really learn by watching the people we love the most. That makes a lot of sense. So what are the triggers?
Trigger.
Yeah, a trigger is something that causes an immediate reaction. What makes us suddenly want to open our wallets and buy something we definitely didn't plan to buy?
Well, historically, the biggest triggers have always been stress and boredom. When you are stressed from a terrible commute, like your morning today, you want relief.
Oh, absolutely.
And when you are bored sitting on your couch, you want excitement. But today, we have a new, incredibly powerful trigger: the digital world.
You're talking about our phones and targeted ads. I know exactly what you mean.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah, you search online for healthy dinner recipes, and suddenly, everywhere you look, there's an ad for a $300 blender following you around the internet.
Exactly. The algorithms on social media are perfectly designed to trigger our emotions. They show us beautiful, perfect pictures of things we don't have.
And this creates something called FOMO, right? F-O-M.
Yes. It stands for fear of missing out. It's not just wanting a vacation. It's the fear that all your friends are living vibrant, exciting lives, and you are being left behind.
That fear of being left behind makes you click the buy button. You want to feel included. You want to feel like you are successful too.
Right. In fact, a massive 86% of purchases are driven purely by emotional needs.
Wait, 86%? That is huge.
It is. When people buy something, they are often trying to meet up to 10 different emotional needs with just one single purchase.
10 needs from one item.
Yeah, they want to feel smart, they want to feel successful, they want to feel safe, and they want to feel attractive, all from buying one pair of shoes.
That is way too much pressure to put on a pair of shoes.
Right. And of course, sometimes the item doesn't give us those magical feelings, and then we just feel bad.
Yeah. This is a good time to introduce some more vocabulary words to describe that exact situation. Let's speak very slowly so you can hear every single sound.
Let's teach the word guilty. Guilty.
Guilty means feeling bad after doing something wrong.
Exactly. In shopping, you feel guilty when you spend money that you know you should have saved. You look at the item, your stomach feels heavy, and you think, I really shouldn't have done that.
The next word is the opposite feeling. Satisfied. Satisfied.
Satisfied means feeling completely fulfilled. It's a calm, happy feeling.
Right. You got something, it is exactly what you needed, and you have zero regrets. You are entirely happy with your choice.
Let's do another interactive practice with these feelings. I'll say a phrase, and I want you to repeat after me. Ready?
Here we go.
It was a waste of money.
Let's try that again. Repeat after me. It was a waste of money.
Great job. Now let's try one using our new vocabulary word. Repeat after me. I feel guilty buying this.
Once more. Nice and slow. I feel guilty buying this.
Excellent. Those are highly useful phrases to talk about how you feel after shopping.
Knowing these words is helpful, but applying them is the real trick. To show you how to use this vocabulary in real life, we're going to step into a realistic role-play scenario.
I love role plays. A scenario is just a specific situation, right?
Yes, let's do a role-play. For this scenario, I'm going to be thinking about buying a very expensive, high-quality chair for my home office.
Okay, and you are really worried about the price. I'm going to help you talk through your feelings so you can figure out if it is truly worth it.
Okay, let's begin the role play. Hey there, can I ask you for some advice?
Of course. What's on your mind?
Well, I'm looking at this new office chair online. It looks beautiful and it promises amazing back support. But the price tag is $500.
Wow, $500.
Yeah, I'm really hesitating. I feel guilty even looking at it. That's just so much money for a chair.
I totally understand why you feel hesitant. $500 is a big chunk of money. Let's explore that a bit. How does your current office chair make you feel?
Oh, my current chair is absolutely terrible. It's old, the cushion is flat, and it's hard as a rock. After working for just 2 hours, my lower back really hurts. I feel stiff, sore, and just unhappy while I work.
I see. And when you sit in a high-quality chair like the one you want to buy, how does it make you feel?
It feels completely different. When I tested one at the store, it felt comforting. It felt relaxing. It supported my body perfectly.
That's a huge difference in physical feeling. Let me ask you this. How often are you actually going to use this new chair?
Well, I work from home every single day. I sit at my desk for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week.
So you're going to use it for 40 hours every single week. Think about the value that adds to your daily routine.
True.
It's going to stop your back pain. It's going to make your entire workday comfortable instead of painful. Because you use it so much and it solves a real physical problem, I don't think this is emotional spending at all.
Really? But $500? I could just buy a cheap chair for $50. Aren't I just buying the expensive one for a dopamine hit?
No, I don't think you are. Buying a $50 chair that breaks in a year or hurts your back is a false economy. Buying the high-quality one is an investment in your health and your daily productivity.
An investment.
Yes. When you buy something that improves your life in a real, practical, long-term way, it's an investment. It isn't a waste of money. I think you should buy it, and you shouldn't feel guilty about it.
Wow. Looking at it through that lens makes me feel so much better. You're right. It solves a real problem. It's an investment. Thank you so much for helping me talk through it.
You're very welcome.
And that's the end of our role play. I hope that conversation helped you hear how we use these words naturally to make decisions.
Me too. Let's look at one more vocabulary word from that role play. The word is relaxed. Relaxed.
Relaxed means being completely free from tension and anxiety. Your muscles are soft, your breathing is slow, and your mind is calm.
Just like you felt drinking your coffee earlier.
Exactly. It's a wonderful feeling. Let's practice some phrases from our role play. Please say this out loud wherever you are. Repeat after me. It is an investment.
Let's do that one more time. It is an investment.
Now let's try one more phrase. Repeat after me. It's worth every penny.
Let's say again slowly. It's worth every penny.
Every penny means every single cent. It's an expression that means the item gives you so much incredible value, you don't regret spending the money at all.
So we saw a successful decision in our role play. The chair was a smart investment. But how do you stop the bad emotional spending in your real life?
Yeah, what habits can you build right now to protect your wallet and protect your peace of mind?
We have three very smart, very simple habits to share with you. The first habit is name the feeling.
Name the feeling.
Yes. Before you click the buy button online or before you walk up to the cash register in a store, just pause. Stop for 1 single second. Take a deep breath and ask yourself a question. Am I sad right now? Am I bored? Am I feeling stressed out?
Just asking that question is incredibly powerful. Honestly, sometimes just admitting out loud, I'm not hungry for a new jacket, I'm just feeling lonely, takes all the power away from the urge to spend.
It really does. You realize you don't actually need the item. Then you can call a friend or go for a walk instead of spending money.
What's the second habit?
The second habit is called the 24-hour rule. This is a brilliant rule. You create a cooling off period.
Cooling off simply means giving your hot, excited emotions time to calm down and become cool logic.
Exactly. If you're shopping online, you put the item in your digital cart, but you don't check out. You just sleep on it.
Oh, I've heard of this. If you want to buy something that is non-essential, meaning something you don't physically need to survive, you must wait 24 hours.
Right. You go to sleep, you wake up the next day. If a full 24 hours pass and you still truly want it and you can comfortably afford it, then you have permission to buy it.
I love the 24-hour rule. So many times I wake up the next morning and I completely forget what I even put in my cart. The dopamine craving is totally gone. It saves so much money.
The third habit is a wonderful way to organize your money so you don't have to stress. It's called the 50-30-20 budget.
The 50-30-20 budget.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me explain this simply. You take all the money you earn and you divide it into 3 separate buckets. The first bucket is 50%, half of your money.
If 50% is the biggest bucket, I'm guessing that's for survival needs. Things like rent, groceries, electricity, and medicine.
Exactly. 50% is for the things you absolutely must have to live securely. The second bucket is 30%. What do you think goes in there?
Well, if my needs are covered, I'm guessing the 30% bucket is for the fun stuff, like going to the movies, buying a new book, or buying my $7 coffee.
You've got it. 30% is for your wants, the fun things that bring you joy. And that leaves the last bucket, which is 20%.
And what is that one for?
This is for your savings. This is money you put away for your future or to pay off any debt you might have.
Why is this specific budget so helpful for emotional spending?
Because the main reason people feel guilty when they spend money is that they don't actually know if they can afford it.
Oh, that makes total sense.
They have this underlying anxiety like, if I buy this coffee, will I have enough for rent? But this budget gives you absolute permission to spend money without feeling guilty.
Because if you know you've put 20% into savings and your rent is paid with your 50%, then you can spend your 30% on fun things happily.
Exactly. You know you are safe. You can buy that joy-giving item and feel totally satisfied.
That is so freeing. It takes the fear completely out of spending. Let's do one final interactive moment. This is the ultimate self-check question. This is the question you should always ask yourself before buying anything. Repeat after me. Will I regret this later?
Let's do that one more time very clearly. Will I regret this later?
Regret means to feel sad or disappointed about a choice you made. If the answer is yes, put the item back on the shelf. If the answer is no, then it might be a wonderful, joy-giving purchase.
We've covered so much amazing information in this deep dive. Let's do a gentle review of the main ideas we talked about today.
We learned about the Feelconomy and how our brains seek a dopamine sugar rush when we feel stressed or bored.
Right. We learned that treating yourself is absolutely okay as long as it brings true, long-lasting satisfaction instead of a temporary thrill.
We also learned that we must watch out for the digital trap of FOMO and targeted ads.
And we busted the myth that gender decides our spending and learned that our habits often come from our parents.
Most importantly, we learned to pause, name our feelings, use the 24-hour rule, and follow the 50-30-20 budget.
Treating yourself isn't a bad thing at all. Buying something beautiful for your home or paying for a relaxing experience can be wonderful for your mental health.
You just want to avoid the quick dopamine hit that is immediately followed by a heavy feeling of guilt. You want to move from feeling guilty to feeling completely satisfied and relaxed. Always ask yourself, is it worth it?
As we finish our time together today, I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over. Mull over means to think deeply about something on your own time.
Yes. Here is your thought for the day. Look around your room right now. Find one item that you bought recently. Look closely at it.
Does it bring you true joy? Does it make you feel calm and happy?
Or did you just buy it because you were bored scrolling on your phone late at night?
Understanding your own space is the very first step to understanding your mind.
That is a beautiful thought. Your home really does tell the story of your feelings.
It certainly does. We are so glad you joined us for this deep dive.
Please remember to take a moment right now to like, subscribe, and share the Real English podcast with your friends. Your support helps us create more lessons just like this one.
We love helping you learn English while exploring fascinating real-life topics together.
And if you want to review today's lesson, I uploaded a free PDF summary in the description and in the comments. Feel free to download it and study at your own pace.